It's your man Uncle O.
Charlie Mack.
And this is the Dawn with Uncle O.
And Charlie Mack.
And you are now locked in
With Rico the Trainer.
Say Less.
Oh yeah, check it out. It's your boy Don Ken, number one co-signer. Know this real. Philly hip hop historian right here. Legendary. Rico, trainer, YouTube. Don't get it.
Shout out to Rico the Trainer TV, free interviews. It's your boy Ness signing off. Who's Picnic 2025.
Oh man, I'm with a legend. For those who don't know, can you please tell them who you are for me? It's somebody, they might have been under a rock.
Hey,
I don't know.
You know, QuestLove of the legendary Roots crew.
For sure, man. And we're here at the picnic. And first and foremost, can you just tell me what makes Philly different from other places that you've been?
You know, Philly's always had a chip on his shoulder because we had to grow up in the shadow of New York City. You know, when you live within 2 hours of New York City, you always hear like, yo, New York this, New York that, New York this. And so when Tariq and I started this group, our whole thing was to basically let New York know that, you know, there's other cultures besides New York culture. And that was 30 years ago when we started that group.
Boy, did y'all put your
That's what down. This was our dream, to like start culture. You know what I mean? What up, though? Good to see you.
Absolutely. And for anybody that's never been to Philly, why should they come?
Well, shit, the way, you know, Philly is one of the rare, I guess they call Philly a cosmopolitan city. Philly's a rare cosmopolitan city that still has, like, what I say, blue collar mentality. You know, people are real here. They let you know, like, it grounds you. They tell you how they feel. Like, we're just a different breed of people, you know. And, you know, when all said and done, I'm coming back home to Philly. When all said and done, man. Like, I love this city. So, I'll be back.
Absolutely. What do you do for self-care?
For self-care, you know, since the pandemic, you know, for cats my age, especially in this lane that we're in hip-hop especially, you know, tomorrow's not promised. I can't tell you the amount of times where people I grew up with, or cousins of mine, or friends of mine, or schoolmates of mine, people my age, in their 50s, you know, they're checking out. And, you know, for us, you have to have a self-care practice. And so my self-care isn't that grandiose. It's basically, my self-care routine is basically, when I wake up in the morning, the first 20 minutes of the day, I get up at like 5 something, I meditate, I do affirmations, I do breathing exercises. Literally, you gotta live 24 hours at a time, which is hard for a lot of us, because kind of when you grow up in hustle mentality, you know, and I grew up, I'm not a street cat, but I was raised in that environment, you know what I'm saying? And so as a result, your every thought is, how can I get out of here? How can I escape? How can I leave? You know, how can I survive? And when you have that mentality of survival first, no matter what, then it puts you in a place where you're always in fight or flight, always in panic. Am I going to make it next week? Is my rent going to be covered? Is my family going to be covered? My boys going to be covered? And, you know, I learned that basically you got to live one day at a time. So pretty much, it's not my favorite thing in the world, but it's literally what's keeping me alive right now, which is every morning I wake up, no matter what is going on, no matter how fucked up life is, no matter how fucked up politically we are, no matter what you're going through, that might be the worst day ever as far as money, job, career, where you are in life, your family, whatever, but you gotta be in a constant state of gratitude. You gotta be in a constant state of gratitude no matter what. And you just gotta be present and live for that day and be like, this is the best day of my life, which is kind of, I know it sounds light in the ass, but that's literally what has me in the place where I am now. Like, you gotta be present and in a state of gratitude, which it took me 40 years to learn that shit, you know? So I'm living a new life right now, post 2020, post pandemic. So, you know, self-care is super important. I used to be one of those people that sort of scoffed at, you know, cats that like go to spas and get massages, or people that get like their feet like pedicures and manicures, or any of those things, like, because I always felt like, you know, as black people, we raised by people who they teach us to performatively suffer to justify our existence. Like, you know, I gotta work hard. QuestLove, man, QuestLove's directing movies, making records, on the Tonight Show, write books, teach at college, hosting, you know, like, I used to be that cat. Like, I'm gonna be known as the hardest working person. But then you're the hardest working person, but then you might not live here because you're working so hard and you don't take time out. So kind of after 2020, that is when I learned how important it is to do something once a week. So I live in New York, in downtown Manhattan. There it happens to be a spa spot that I go to once a week, and I gotta just take that time out to ground myself. So it's very important.
Absolutely. So, you know, we